All right, so I'm here with Toad Agent, and we're going to talk about a Japanese live action film called Love Exposure. It was released in 2008. So, did you like it, Toad Agent?
Um, Mary needs Scorpion.
Hmm, I see.
I did like the film. It was unlike anything I've seen before. Really, with all the different elements of the film I've seen elsewhere, but that sort of how do you call it? Presentation was like basically the film had a very unique style and presentation. Not really something I've seen before. It was kind of like you took a lot of like the techniques and directing techniques from anime and put it into live action, and it actually works fairly well.
Yeah, it was the closest thing in live action that I've seen to an anime. The film is 4 hours long. Was it hard to watch because of that?
Um, I did I didn't watch it all in one go. I took a break halfway through. But I did manage to get through the entire film in a day. Um, yeah, it's very watchable. Um, I was never like bored or anything. During it, even at the beginning when there's a very long section dedicated to um, um Christianity, I guess. Are they Catholics?
Yes, they're
I'm not
Catholics.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember. Yeah, there's a long section at the beginning dedicated to studying um the protagonist's father's faith and his relationship with his mother. Sort of, there's like a flashback there, and what the death in the family does how a death of the protagonist's mother affects his father. Which was probably the slowest part of the film, but it was still interesting. Um, yeah,
I see. Um, yeah, I also agree that the first part was the most boring. Apparently, there is a TV series which is basically just the same as the film, but it's broken up into smaller sections. And
that
yeah,
it,
originally, yeah. Sorry, go on.
yeah. The film is the film is sort of haphazardly broken up into sections anyway. Part of one is the perspective of our protagonist, um, and parts two and three are basically just the same, um, just records the same time frame and that you'd have seen, but from the perspective of like two of the main characters, from the head of the Zero Church and the protagonist's love interest as well. You see their perspectives, and there's like that's what makes up parts one to three, right?
Yeah, the Zero Church was just a generic cult, wasn't it? There wasn't really much to it. I think it was kind of,
No,
yeah, it was kind of a weak villain, maybe, or whatever. Hmm.
well,
Just
the actual villain we get isn't isn't weak at all. You know, she completely ruins our protagonist like halfway through the film, and he, he, he doesn't really um, properly recover until like the very end, really. Hello, just didn't tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
how you
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I'm still there. I'm
Okay.
still there. Yeah. What was her name? Was it Kaori? Maybe. I think.
I've like I have forgotten everyone's name.
So, I mean, what was her motivation anyway? Like, I didn't get it really, to be honest.
Uh, I'm not sure. I guess she wanted like some sort of odd lesbian relationship or something. Though I did think that was no, that's not really it. What she wanted, as far as I could tell, was just to hurt the protagonist, basically. Um, because like a lot of how she behaves around our protagonist is sort of guided guided by the fact that she thinks she's basically the same as him because they both have original sin, right? Uh, her father, who abused her, told her that she was like disgusting, and that she had like original sin or something, and then and so she snapped his dick in half. Anyway, that's like a different story. Uh,
Yeah.
and as a result, as a result of her messed up childhood, um, she sort of sees our protagonist as like the same as her, like and that sort of um the a lot of the film is sort of her playing out her twisted desires and sort of torturing the protagonist, but like actual motives, like actual motivations from her that makes sense. I can't really point to anything. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still there.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Koike. I forgot.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. So, what did you think of the acting in general?
Um, I thought it was fine. I didn't say anything wrong with it, right? I like met like um, may- maybe maybe he's got like a bit amateurish um where with like the friends, right? The petty criminals, like them, their acting was like a little bit uh, sort of rough around the edges, but it it didn't it didn't really make a lot of difference, right? Because that's like those are the sort of characters they were playing anyway. Um, I wasn't too convinced by them, and that they just sort of seemed like people who were acting. But everyone else, I couldn't really fault. I mean, the like like through most of the film, our protagonist kind of has to act like crazy, like a little bit crazy, and like sort of spurg out from time to time because of the situations he's in. And yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
he
still
does
there.
a good
I
job.
thought,
Uh,
I don't know. At first,
what did
I
you think about
felt
the
it was
acting
a
then?
bit weird, but I
Are you
kind
still
of
there?
got used to the
Students, are you
basically
still
everybody
with us?
acting
Hang on.
retarded pretty fast. Like
Hello, hello. Uh, I got disconnected like half. Um, what did you last hear from me?
I last heard from you that you asking me what I thought about the acting.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't. I disconnected like right after then.
I see. I see. Yeah. It took me a while to get into it. Because basically they act like anime characters, and it's a bit weird at first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think the most anime-like thing which happened was probably when the whole love triangle shit happened.
Which part was the most anime? The part where he sort of it took um it took a samurai sword into the Zero Church and decided to put the building aura where
Oh yeah, yeah.
he dressed in like his friend's sister's clothes and decided to fight like a bunch of gangsters.
Yeah, yeah. Those were basically the two most anime-like scenes. It's. I mean, I guess it's when it comes to genres. I guess you could say that it is sort of a romantic comedy. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely a drama too, right? I mean, there's lots of funny parts and things, but it's also quite a heavy film too. Where like you would you're just gonna see people just sort of monologuing at you for like 10 minutes. You know, it's not
Mhm.
like it's not like a straight comedy, right? I mean, yeah, bad things do happen to people, and people do like pretty shitty things to each other, basically.
Mm. Apparently, they shot the whole thing in around a month, so it must have been pretty hectic. And
Well,
originally,
oh my God, a month. Jesus Christ.
yes, and originally the first version was 6 hours long.
Mm,
Um, and basically, the director Sono Seon got somebody else, fortunately, to trim it down to 4 hours.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
apparently, he said that if he had trimmed it down any further, it just wouldn't have made any fucking sense. I don't know about that. I think you could have trimmed it out, but especially at the start.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's still it's still a very packed movie. I wouldn't really want to sort of get rid of anything really. It does all seem quite efficient. Um, yeah, I guess I didn't really feel the length. To be honest, the whole film sort of went past quite quickly. Uh, I'm not quite sure why because like yeah, it was very I don't know. I guess that is a positive. Um, may like maybe because I was like like actually like fucking
You're breaking up.
engaged in like a live action film for once or something. But yeah, it was it was it was very pleasant. Um, yeah, it was a very pleasant viewing experience. Really.
I see.
Am I?
Um,
Am I okay now?
no, still breaking up,
I
but
tried to uh, walk forward a bit
Not. Can you hear me, Agent? By the way. No, you can't hear me. All right. I'll try leaving the call and joining it again. Maybe that might fix this. Can you hear me now, Agent? Code Agent, are you there? Hello? Hello? Yeah. Still nothing. Hopefully he'll be able to join back soon. To be honest, I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about this film.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. I think I sort of walked off too far into the countryside then. Like an idiot. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
much better now.
Yeah, I'll just stay around here then. That's fine.
So I see. What else is there left to say? I mean, what score out of 10? What score would you give it?
Man, it was I think I'll give it like a 7, probably. Like I did quite like the film. So there was like a few things I would sort of pick up on, I guess. That's I didn't really love. But yeah, it was good. It was a good film. So yeah, I will give it 7 out of 10 then. I think that's fair.
I mean, what are the elements that you did not like?
I guess sort of the unreal feeling I got from it. I didn't believe the film too much. It was very uh I guess like I couldn't really make sense of a lot of the characters, I guess, especially as we said the main villain, right? I mean, if um, I couldn't I couldn't really understand like why she was doing what she was doing, and thought I would find out sort of in the film, but you never really get like a clear sort of justification. She was very just sort of antagonistic because for one reason or another, I guess. And sort of like why would the love interest be even even think of going back and to the sort of mental hospital. I mean, like I'm pretty sure like any real girl in a real life would like just would just avoid the psycho who had broken into the Zero Church and just murdered everyone. But apart from that, like it was yeah, it's obviously not supposed to be realistic. But I just would have liked something a bit more to latch on to, I guess. I didn't really feel oh god, I didn't really feel too connected to anything really. I guess that's my main criticism is that I can't really relate that much to the characters, even though like there are some similarities between myself and the protagonist. It was just so sort of unreal. That's I couldn't really get a lot out of it. Personally speaking, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of a role of cool and a spectacle.
Sort of, I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of themes, but I don't know. I mean, like I don't think that it really says anything much about anything really.
No, it's just one thing happens after another, and it's all connected, but it's just yeah, it's a bit scattered.
Yeah. Apparently, the director, like when the movie starts, like one of the first things which you see is this is based on a true story. I mean,
Yeah. Which is well, do you know what it was based on though, or was that just like some
but,
sort of joke?
no. Well, apparently had the director got help from somebody who actually does take um you know
Oh,
how should I put it?
um,
uh, Upskirting pictures,
yeah,
I guess.
uh, like like stage. Was that his life story? That is that how he explained himself then? This film.
Yeah. Well, apparently, so he helped. This friend of the director helped the director with this film, and the
Mhm.
director apparently helped him with his, I
His
guess.
hobby.
And apparently, well, he claims that they got arrested twice or something.
No, I see.
Uh, what?
They should have. They should have like utilized some of the moves our protagonist was pulling. Right, there's those clips. Those cameras on the end of string. Um, actually, speaking of that uh that um art we
They're breaking up again.
we
Sorry.
we uh, get to witness. Uh, I did I did quite like all the camera shutter noises that were added in. I did enjoy all the camera shutter noises that were added that were like added in post, right? So like they would obviously take footage of like the actors
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. Now I
waving
can.
around their
I missed some
cameras,
of what
but
you
like
said, but yeah, I
in
can hear you.
post they would then add like those like really loud over the top camera shutter noises, right? Where can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, it was so worse. So you would like yeah you would just have like them like dancing around these
Yeah.
girls pretty much, and in post you just add like camera noises and go like ching ching ching. It was pretty. That must have been like
Yeah.
really offensive film
So
actually. Just like people like people fucking breakdancing around like girls or something.
um,
It's what the fuck.
I watched the whole thing in a library in public. Would you
Yeah,
recommend? Would you
no.
recommend that? No. Why not?
Well, I mean, there are like there is lots of photography of underwear and like um I guess there isn't any nudity, right? I don't think, but there are a lot of sort of there is a lot of erotic imagery throughout the film. Let's say, I mean, it doesn't it don't you get like a scene halfway through the film where the love interest like is literally masturbating to Miss Scorpion, right? I mean, so it's
Um,
not like I wouldn't recommend watching it in a public. It's 20 degree really.
I see. Um, I mean, did you think that Miss Scorpion passed as a woman a little bit, maybe, or not?
Yeah. I thought Miss Scorpion was actually quite a convincing woman, though the voice was pretty funny because the voice was like so obviously just a it just sounded like a guy doing a impression of a woman. Like it's like it's like they look convincing until they open their mouths, right? and it just and then you just sort of hear the voice of Miss Scorpion, which is yeah, it was pretty funny. Whenever he he wore the Miss Miss Scorpion costume and spoke to her, she was sort of um completely enamored with with this sort of idea she has in her head. Whereas like Miss Scorpion is just trying to hide her boner.
Yeah. What did you think of the sound design in general and the music? I guess the soundtrack.
So, yeah. I didn't really notice the soundtrack too much. Man, I'm trying to remember. Like, I guess there was a no song that played during the credits, and the sound was like fine. I guess. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong. I wasn't like blown away by the music or the sound or anything. It just it felt quite standard.
I see. Let's see, what else is there to talk? I mean, there's a bunch of shit happening, but hmm, I mean, I mean, I'm not sure whether any of it really mattered that much at all. Hmm. hmm.
It's well, the at least the at least the film got a kind of a happy ending. Though I do wonder after the protagonist was sort of cured of his like insanity at the end, and he punches in a window like of a car. I want to at that point, this guy is basically a terrorist. I don't think they're going to be letting him out of the hospital um anytime soon. To be honest, at the very least, or they just like literally descend into like an actual prison at that point because it's not insane anymore. Uh, the film sort of stops at a very perfect moment, right? I mean, if the story continued on any longer, it would have turned into like a weird sort of long distance. My boyfriend is in prison sort of relationship, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. I mean, I guess about the teams. Uh, I kind of baited, try or at least try to bait some people on my server on our server to check it
Yeah.
out check it out by calling it a Christian film with panty shots. Uh,
Mm.
I mean, is that? I mean, is that true? At least on the surface, at least.
Yeah. Definitely yeah. What's actually on the screen, right? I mean, there's like yeah, even though nobody in the film is like really really a proper Catholic. Maybe maybe the protagonist's father, like he at least tries, but it's sort of he sort of admits that well, I may be a Catholic, but most of all I just want to fuck this woman, basically.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, would you describe it as anti-Christian or whatever, like fedora tipping? Oh, religion is just bullshit. That sort of film.
Not not really. I mean, we sort of get that a bit with the Zero Church, but I guess religious like the religious institutions in this film do like sometimes do actually help people. Uh, where when the priest's future wife sort of firstly turns up in the church, sort of crying and asking for help, he actually does help her. Because at that point he is like a a good Catholic or whatever, but things sort of fall apart, and you sort of see the like I guess the boards of like religion later on, sort of telling the characters that we can't really save your parents and your family from the Zero Church because they're just too far in, and we also got like 100 more people to worry about, so which it doesn't really show it in like a very kind light, or like, or that Christianity is like gonna come and save you, but it does sort of allude to the fact that it can sort of be helpful in the right circumstances and conditions. But other than that, like it like religion in the film is basically just a lie.
What did you make of the whole confession thing? I mean, the protagonist, you, gets into taking
Yeah,
part. Yeah.
he decides to like sin on purpose, and so that's how he becomes a sex offender, basically. uh, yeah, and so he decides to tell his father how much he sins, by sort of telling him, oh man, I took this many paddy shots today. Aren't you proud of me? Look at all these sins I'm admitting to you, and yeah, and in the end, his father just ends up like disowning him basically, and just sort of slapping him around the face because he's like so like disgraced by him.
Well, apparently the director ran away from home when he was 17 years old, and basically from then onwards lived alone. So he said that that's he sort of kind of, I mean, it's put that in there somehow. I don't know. Let's see, what else there has to say. Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt more like a plot device. It didn't really make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah. Mm, let's see.
yeah. It was it was it yeah, the whole sin thing was a big plot device, so that he would end up making a bet with his friends, and that bet would and that's bet wouldn't go in his way, and so he ended up having to be dressed in like his friend's sister's clothes, right? And he wasn't it Tokyo where they were, or was it just some sort of random town? I can't remember.
I
But
don't think.
anyway, he ends up
Yeah.
getting pulled around in his sister's clothes, and his friends um go with him. So like um to see that that he doesn't chicken out or whatever, and while he's basically in his Mrs. Scorpion costume, he meets his Maria, and then they fight off some like low tier minions, which was a whole thing planned and orchestrated by the head of the Zero Church, who is the villain of the movie. Yeah, and that's yeah. As far as plot devices go, it kind of felt like quite natural. I didn't really see. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone could really see or predict where the film's gonna actually go, right?
Yeah, I guess that was kind of why it was fun, because you couldn't predict where the hell it was going to go. But other than that, You just want to see like something uh, bigger happening, I guess. What did you think about the violence in general? I thought it was very, I don't know, it kind of felt low budget on the one hand, but um, I kind of liked it as well because it kind of felt campy.
Yeah, it was over the top. Yeah, especially where with all the blood spurting out of things, of everyone's necks, yeah, if somebody gets like slashed with a sword, like all their blood is gonna come gushing out with extreme force. Yeah, it's very yeah like that.
And
Or
yeah,
the Dick scene where um I think like someone whose dick gets cut off, I think at some point, and the blood sort of gushes out everywhere, and it sort of covers everyone, which is yeah, another example.
yeah. I mean, everybody has very high blood pressure for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Uh,
surprised like nobody got like a nosebleed at some point. Uh, I mean, Scorpion gets like a nosebleed, but the blood pressure thing, it just squints everywhere. Man,
eh,
that was like a missed opportunity. If
uh,
I'm if I'm ever making a ridiculous live action film, I'm definitely gonna have like a nosebleed squirt scene, just sort of somewhere in there for like no reason. It's just gonna be in there. Anyway, yeah, I think we've kind of covered all like the main bits, right? Would
yeah.
you I mean, yeah, apart from us, who would you actually like recommend this film to? I mean, I can't I guess I could sort of recommend it to some of my close friends. Um, but that's about it really. Well, I mean, I guess my close friends who I also know are into anime as well. Which is like two people. So yeah.
Who would I recommend it to? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not like telling someone to say like, oh, go watch 2001 Space Odyssey or
No, it's not.
whatever.
It's not. This isn't some like normie film like that. This is this
Yeah,
is this is this is real film.
I mean, you need to recommend it to someone who has like at least a decently high power level. Otherwise, I don't know.
A decently high power level. A yes, a power level of at least 120. Is that what you're saying? Uh
Yeah,
that was a
for
that
instance, I wouldn't recommend it to Quedzi, for instance.
no no. His what is it? His power level isn't quite high enough yet.
Not yet, not yet. It will get there.
It will,
Um,
yeah. We'll convince him.
I think somebody like A might like it. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I guess so. Um,
um, but
yeah,
you have to sell it to him without mentioning anime or something. Or
yeah. Best
uh,
two words. It
who
would be
else?
kind of difficult.
Mm,
Has a snob watched this film?
no, I doubt it. I doubt it. He's not. He. I don't know. I think he would just dismiss it as rule of cool, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call this film Royal Cool. It just to me it just felt like a comedy drama. More than anything, I don't think the action scenes are really meant to be like serious or anything. Um, like good in any way.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think yeah. I mean, if you can't, I mean, outside of the character, like seeing the characters, like getting their happy ending or whatever.
Mm,
Um, there wasn't much else to me to be immersed or rather invested
yeah,
in.
I
Um,
think I think the best piece of action you see is where the protagonist's sort of mother, quote unquote, runs his father off the roads. Where like she's she's like trying to get him to marry her, and so she decides to like run him off the road and sort of um chases him into the sea and like he was drowned.
yeah.
Like she says, yeah, and then at the end, she says, I raped him beautifully, which was like, okay, great. Uh,
I, I, I mean, there are a lot of films that like go over the top, like basically things like the Fast and Furious franchise now, or whatever, and
yeah,
they have a bigger budget to do stuff or whatever. But I kind of feel like I don't know. Maybe it's because here it's played off as a comedy or whatever. Mm,
mm.
I- I-
This film is I neglected to mention that this film is a lot more personal than sort of a regular action film, right? With like an action film is for the most part just a bunch of excuses to have action. But this film has action sort of as a excuse to move on the plot, right? I mean, and you don't really get many action scenes either. You sort of get like three main um action scenes, I'd say, and that's sort of it. Like the rest of it is just very intimate character drama, really, and obviously a comedy. Um, yeah, it was. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call it a rule of cool movie. In conclusion,
would you call it a art house movie? Maybe.
no, it's not. It's still very straight, right? It's not really that. Well, I mean, it's kind of experimental, but it's not as abstract as what I think art house to be, basically. Um, man, like what would I call art house? I mean, I guess I would call like something like Twin Peaks art house. Um, maybe this film is as well, but I'm not really sure about that.
Uh, did it feel kind of dated? Um, like
Uh,
this was the early 2000s.
yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah. Everyone, especially the fact that all the all uh, what was it? It was the porn company where he tries getting a job in the in the pornography industry, and and the boss man says these DVDs are selling really well. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is definitely the 2000s, right? If you're if you're like selling physical pornographic media, right? That's it was that and also the phones as well. Um, that basically that dated it. I guess.
yeah, yeah, it was those things. Yeah. Kind of liked the atmosphere. Maybe it was the music too. Um,
Yeah, this all things considered, and there is like obviously a lot of separation, but this film kind of reminded me of my it kind of reminded me of my childhood, weirdly.
I mean, for what? I mean,
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
what kind of childhood did you have? I mean, is it because it was the early 2000s?
Yeah, probably, and I guess I guess just that sort of aesthetic, maybe, or that sort of tone of the 2000s sort of leaked through.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what qualities I could really point out that reminds me of the 2000s, but you can sort of feel that decade in a lot of the media. Uh, I sort like I can very easily recognize when a film was probably made in the 90s, right? The same way you can sort of recognize that a film was made in the 80s if you sort of get what I mean. There is a the 2000s I think still sort of has its own identity, but honestly, if you show me something like from the tens, I guess I wouldn't really be able to um get a intangible feeling of it. I'm not quite sure why, really. Um,
Um,
maybe it's because I'm older.
I also got a sort of. I felt like this could have also been made in the late 90s, maybe. Even though it was made in 2008. Did you feel? That's not.
Very
Mm,
like very late 90s. That it didn't really feel like it though. It felt like if I were to put a date on this movie, if sorry yeah, if I were to put a date on this film without like knowing the actual dates, like I would say yeah, this film came out in like 2004. That's like that and that would be my estimates because it felt like it felt like of my era, but it's still like kind of old and uh, still sort of a period of time that I don't really I don't really remember, but I can still sort of feel for it, right? I can still identify that this film isn't like 90s anyway. uh,
yeah, I
maybe
think.
maybe it's kind of pointless talking about like how like a film felt in this way, but no, yeah, it just it just reminded me of my childhood basically.
Hmm. Maybe it was the friends. I don't know, fucking around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess so. That was probably part of it, I guess.
Hmm.
There was there was like I actually do remember a lot of petty theft when I was younger. Anyway,
Yeah.
actually, one thing I do really like from this film is the fact that no matter what happens, the protagonist's friends are like always going to be like thieving around. Even even at like the sort of end of the film, his friends are like still doing the same old stuff. Like they just don't change their ways at all. Throughout the whole film.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying when like in some stories you get like every character has transformed or some shit like that. Um.
Yeah,
ca-
it just yeah it just yeah yeah it was nice. I guess it was sort of funny because in a way like the petty thieves not like improving in like in any way was sort of like a subversion, right? Because usually you would expect um these sort of figures to like change, but in this film they just don't. They're just sort of doing the same old thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think the point at which I stopped taking the story seriously at all, and basically started enjoying it is when the protagonist Hugh was taken to this. How should I describe him? Master. I don't know. Master panty shot.
Yes,
Um,
master pervert. Is that what he's trying to say?
yeah, I guess so. To teach him the ways of
Oh God,
of,
yeah,
of taking panty shots, and like how he started off by like pointing to a picture of a woman's crotch
yeah.
and saying that
Oh,
that's where the truth. This is where the truth lies, or something.
yeah. I know. And like everyone, at that point, everyone also like bows down to him as well.
Yeah, and the book, which the only thing, like, like on the book which the protagonist gets from the master, which is apparently
Yeah,
the only book he has written. Like I think
yeah.
it's only one sentence or something. Um, something like about being lonely or something. I don't know. It kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it kind of felt like, oh, like I've seen this shit of like some character going to
Oh my God.
trade up.
Do you know what these people were?
Hmm?
These people were like literally pickup artists, weren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, were they? I mean, they I guess they they weren't trying to pick up women though. They were just trying to.
I guess like
T-
photograph them, right? Like, yeah, okay. So the weren't like really pickup artists. They were just sort of, yeah, like literally just massive perverts, basically, and they have perfected the skill of perving on women, basically.
yeah,
And
I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense how the protagonist is able, like, I don't know, to get a job, like, and to like make actual DVDs and sell them. Of, of I don't know, illegally taking um panty shots or whatever. Yeah, I think they called him King or something, King of Porn or something. I can't remember what it was that they called him.
the king of perverts, right? That was that.
King of yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I just remembered that's oh God, what was it? That's a remote control car. But like all the all the women get like perfectly lined up, so the master can drive his like remote control car down, and
Yeah, I mean, this is some Home Alone type shit.
yeah, oh, yeah, that was really great actually. Yeah, and so yeah, learning learning the technique of like how to spin around and take a picture and things. It was like yeah, it was so funny because it was just like so obvious, right? I mean, like I'm pretty sure anyone will see some like weirdo, wearing that like tight cardigan, spinning around and sort of taking pictures of you. Uh, but it was good though. Uh,
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
I mean, there was so much fucking unnecessary stuff just there, just because like that parrot, which the antagonist just carried around. I mean,
yeah, yeah. It was like that's a parrot. Like, I think there was something more to that parrot because like certain scenes, that parrot is like dead, but some other scenes, it's like it's alive, unless she got like a new parrot after her old parrot died. I don't know. There's probably some like deep lore on that on that parrot maybe.
I think it was supposed to be like some metaphor or something because her father killed her pet parrot or some shit. Um, and another thing which I didn't get why at all it was there, but it was just there just because. Uh, the thing about the love interest, Yoko Ozawa or whatever, Yoko. Um,
Oh yes, Yoko. How could I forget?
I know, but I mean, Yoko being able to.
Yoko! Sorry. I
Yeah,
just had to do it once.
I mean, yeah, Yoko being able to see invisible bullets. Um,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was that was like pre-edgy as fuck though, right? Sorry.
yeah, I think my favorite scenes which like I didn't like the way that she was kind of like because when the film changed perspective to her perspective like where she's monologuing and
Mm.
did she say something like Jesus Christ Jesus is the only cool guy cool man other than Kurt Cobain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess my other favorite scene with her would be like that very long close-up scene. With the camera close up to her face, where she reads Corinthians 13 or something.
Oh yeah, on the beach after she was kidnapped. Yeah.
I thought that was all right.
Yeah,
I,
that was like her acting moment, wasn't it? You know?
yeah. I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere, and I kind of expected the
Yeah.
protag the protagonist to say something to her because he was the one trying to convince her to stop being part of the Zero Church or whatever the fuck. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
I
yeah.
mean,
Was it? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you'll say.
I mean, I still don't get like, I mean, how it was that him killing a bunch of people and blowing up a bomb. Like, why is it that worked at getting her out of the cult? Like, I just still don't get it. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's probably only worked because like that literally ended the cult, didn't it? I mean,
hmm,
it was sort of the cult structure was damaged beyond repair at that point after he sort of killed like enough people. So she just sort of had like that's his family basically had no choice but to sort of go into rehab, I guess.
uh,
His like parents, um ended up on that like I don't know, what was it that sort of camp? I guess. I can't quite remember the end of the film, but they looked happy, I guess. There were similar side like I don't really think I think at that point they didn't really care where they were. Um,
yeah. Mhm.
while
Uh,
Yoko ended went to live went to live with- went to live with her relatives. Um, uh, I think like maybe what convinced her. Oh yeah, because there was that scene where she decided to Shinji choke the protagonist and like he had like blood's coming out of his eyes, right? And
yeah.
then there was sort of a offline spoken by her cousin, I assume, where like I've cried so much, blood just starts coming out, and then she has like a flashback at that point, and that's probably and that's like finally the thing that like convinces her that's I should probably get with like the terrorist or something.
Mhm. Yeah, it was also kind of funny that like all the people following the protagonist, I mean, chasing him in that I don't know in the cult's headquarters or whatever.
Yeah.
They were all just wearing suits. Yeah, and I don't know, like he even just murdered the head of the cult. But then
Yeah.
when the villain just told them, "Oh, it's okay," they just left for some reason. Um, I think they did a pretty good job of like making the people in the cult look like, I don't know, like total minions. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like even their uniforms were like just a white T-shirt with a fucking giant zero on it.
Yeah. Or he's like, 10 million. Oh yeah, yeah. And you actually believed it too. I think they did pick a good actress to play the head, right? She was I don't know, she was like, I don't I don't like want to insult her or anything, but like she was like a little bit weird looking, I guess.
Yeah, her eyes were a little bit weird looking.
But yeah, and she could sort of shift tone quite well from like innocence, and like how she sort of behaved for her teachers and headmaster when she was sort of feigning um innocence in a scene, and she sort of um her eyes sort of open up, and she gets way more confidence when she's sort of oppressing our protagonist basically. Uh, and she also speaks some like English as well. Like she sort of says, "Give it to me." From time to time when she's sort of
Yeah,
contemplating her past, and that's but she doesn't say it in like Japanese. She says it in English, uh, uh, which is sort of peculiar. And yeah, you don't like you don't really like understand how like odd um
I'm the
Japanese
bone
women
of my
sound.
sword.
Yeah, you don't really understand how odd they sound until you hear them speaking English. It's like this sort of uncanny you know sort of high pitched yeah, like very peculiar tone, I guess. I'm not quite sure really how to describe it, how to describe how those lines sounded coming from her. But yeah, it was very interesting why they decided to use English for those lines. It must have been weird.
It
Um,
just
it,
because it sounds cool or whatever. I imagine. Um,
maybe.
I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it's the same reason why Hideaki Anno had a bunch of Christian stuff, imagery or whatever in
Yeah,
Ever.
that that yeah, that's aesthetic, right? Yeah, I know everyone probably said this at some point, but I do actually at some point want to hear a legitimately honest interview from Anno at some point, where he just sort of just like tells tells the straight truth about everything, um because it's sort of on record that he has kept like a lot of stuff back in the past, especially stuff with the company and things. Um, I just sort of want to know once and for all, like, what what like he actually wanted from Ava, really. Because I kind of think he's sort of holding a lot of information back, really, and that's sort of like somewhat important, but just information that you're never going to know, because he's just not going to tell anyone. Yeah.
I mean, what kind of information do you mean about the plot or about um,
Yeah,
the
yeah, like
making?
uh, all of it. Yeah, yeah, like stuff like the plot, for example, because I you sort of have like these general ideas. There's lots of these sort of speculation circulating around, like what were the extra, because there's going to be like episodes 26, 27, or whatever added on afterwards, but that never sort of came around. And also like what are the episode what would the actual episodes look like that had to be changed? What was that actually going to be? And there are things like how much did his past really influence the series? Um, yeah, just sort of like really, you know, oh God, what would it be? Yeah, it would be preferably like I want a 2 hour long clarification video from him, basically telling us everything that was sort of everything 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 we want to know, and that'd be great.
Well, apparently the director of this film was called of Love Exposure was called a sexist promoting misogyny or whatever.
Okay,
Are you surprised?
no, what do you mean?
Uh,
This is like so fucking stupid. It like I could have I could have probably predicted that, right? Are there any more headlines like that then anywhere? I mean, I don't think we really need to actually defend this guy, but this film obviously is not that.
I mean, apparently there are people who claim that his works are misogynist. Others claiming they are feminist. To be honest, I don't think they are either of those things.
No.
Um, um, and apparently the genre which his work uh, is set under is called eroguro nansetsu or whatever.
Oh,
Ero probably means erotic. Guro is
yeah.
probably referring to, you know what guro is, right?
No.
Go,
I
go.
think I do.
It's basically the kind of a pornography which involves, cutting up people,
Oh, okay.
um, that
No,
sort of
I didn't know that. No.
violence. Come on, I'm disappointed. Um,
Sorry.
I don't know what the fuck nansetsu means. Nonsensu means
Non
nonsense,
nonsensical.
nonsense,
Nonsensical.
nonsense. Yeah,
So
nonsense.
what?
There you
Erotic.
go. Go nonsense.
Right. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I think that's not really how I would describe the film. I guess if I was like being unfair to it, that's how I would describe it. But no, I think there's probably more to the film than that, right? I mean, I guess I just haven't seen his like other stuff.
I mean, I guess this is the sort of stuff like Battle Royale or Royale or whatever the fuck. If you have watched that, or Suicide
Yeah, yeah.
Club.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Do you know what other things he's worked on, or is this just the only thing in knowledge
yeah. He
at
he
the moment?
also. I also watched Suicide Club, which is basically just a horror film, sort of.
No, okay.
Um,
All right.
Not really a horror film, I guess. Um, because it's not scary. It's just violent, I guess. And there's some
Mm.
social commentary or whatever stuff that's supposed to be there.
Mm.
Uh, mm,
Yeah. Do you think director Kun is a sexist misogynist trying to spread sexism around the world?
yes, and I think that's a good thing, of course.
Okay, all right.
I mean, he did make a film called anti-porno. Um,
Okay. I wonder what that's about.
well, according to this, it was praised for its feminist exploration of sexuality or whatever. Um,
Okay.
which I don't
Yeah.
know. A lot of the time, it just means that it was a good movie, so we need to say that it's feminist somehow.
Yeah.
Um, b-
Well, you see, this guy dressed up as a woman this one time. Um, mm.
yeah, and I guess I'm not sure whether you would get away with, like, for instance, the love interest being um like mistakenly thinking that she wants to be a lesbian, and
Mm.
then going back to, I guess, being straight or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It was, yeah, it's, yeah. I don't think you're gonna. Yeah, I don't think I could find that anywhere. Um, maybe if I looked hard enough, but yeah, I don't think so. Like maybe some like old comedies from from like the 90s maybe, where Hollywood was sort of doing that sort of sexual comedy stuff. Maybe I could like find that sort of thing at that point, but yeah, nowadays there's just like no chance. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, and the villain is basically, I don't know, a lesbian psychopath or something. So
yeah,
that's, yeah, probably not going to get that. And
I kind of wonder like if she is actually lesbian, or if like the whole like she's a sort of power gaming or a protagonist, and she like because like that's at like one point she just like tried to like seduce him, right? So I think she's like secretly, I think she is interested in him, and ultimately she wants to like destroy him so she can like get with him.
somehow, yeah, I guess she just wanted him to be, I don't know,
Actually, does
his
make sense. Finally, so after much waiting.
yes, finally, we can end this discussion, which, I don't know, but for various reasons we have had to put back. Things constantly got in the way.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I would give it a 8 out of 10. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it's not really deep or anything, but
no, but like you know, a film doesn't like really have to be deep. Like I feel like deepness is just something extra for you there to enjoy. Like
yeah, to consume. But I mean, um, it was able to keep my attention for 4 hours, which most
yeah,
things,
it was.
yeah, most movies really can't do. It was able to say an okay story, a pretty good story. Um,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't really make sense, but I'm used to this shit because I watch anime. So
exactly. I
um,
will say after these weeks of watching Fate crap, this watching this film as sort of like a breaking point has actually been quite nice. It's been a good break, but yeah. Uh, for next time, for the next discussion, we have got another live action film planned, haven't we? I think after that, I should return to Fate and see what UBM is like.
Oh my god, it was very very awful. Anyway, the next film that we are going to watch is all about Lily Cho Cho. Again, recommended to us just as this film was recommended to us by Paz
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
Artificial Night Sky.
yeah.
Uh,
It's good. It was a good recommendation. 7 out of 10. There you go.
all right, right. So
Right, yeah, we can.
end
Right,
it. Yeah,
yes, let's end it. Thank you for listening to our movie discussion.
and
Um,
now get out.
we